Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Community is key for your business. Now, I've talked about this several times before, just not recently, especially when the channel was called Rom Wills About That Business. But a very key thing for your business is to not only have a community around it, but to be a part of a community. Like if you have that's one of the best ways, especially what I've seen recently. Now, I have connections with several, I'll say, different types of communities. Like I have connections with the Tantra, tomato community, the Tantra community. And I've seen, friends, like actual friends with several people who make that money in that community. The key to it is the community, things that are related to Tantra. It could be retreats, books, workshops, coaching, things of that nature. But you have whole communities that deal with that. I have friends who are creating a community out on the West Coast, and they make that money in that community, and it's still related to advanced sexual practices and stuff, or even in like, if since I'm talking about sex, let's talk about the fetish communities. You have whole businesses created around that. And in fact, one thing with that Tantra community, Tantra, I'll say both just to be clear. I remember when I went to a retreat over a decade ago, and it not just had the speakers, they were getting paid, but, had some catering, they were getting paid and everything. And see, and that's just one example. You can make several examples. I remember, in the publishing industry, and I'm gonna talk more about that on Thursday, but it was a kind of a community of writers. Now that can create something, but I'll get deeper into that on Thursday. But it's regardless. Like, okay, bodybuilding. I'm known for talking about body game, but you've had there's a whole community of people across the country, millions. They are into working out and everything. And what's happened? You got a whole industry around that. Like in the area that I live in, we got major gyms, several major gyms chains. Like there's like two very big ones. I mean, these take up like half a block in my area, and it's like within like 5 minutes driving distance from me. And they are apart. Then there's several smaller gyms. There's a boutique. Studios and everything, yoga studio. We got so much, but there's a community of people. In fact, near me, there's a store that sells running shoes, but they actually have a community of runners in the area. They have a community. They actually sponsor runs and, 5Ks and stuff like that. If you in business, if you can tap into a community, you can make money. In fact, we see that online. We see that if you look at YouTube, how many content creators are tapping into a community of people, whatever they like, whatever they want to do, people of like minds. And that's just on a basic thing. But see, you can still take it further. Okay, say there's a community, you got a community of people into a certain hobby or something. And somebody might say, okay, let me do some videos on it. Boom. Okay, might make some money on YouTube. Let me write some books about it. Let me do a workshop. It might be something that people need to get into. Let me do a workshop on it. Community. Or yoga. My co-parent, she used to teach yoga. She'll still take yoga classes now, but you have a community of people who practice yoga. And there are several magazines that tap into that community, and several products like clothing products, props that they use in yoga practice, certain foods that they eat and everything, key for your business. The vegan community. That's a big one now. And that's more than just eating. I mean, it's deep. I've seen some vegan magazines. They won't just have like different food recipes and stuff. Of course, they'll have books, talking about, cookbooks, books on the lifestyle, everything. See, and it all comes back down to a community. And see, that's an important thing to think about. Now, I learned that when I was working at this hotel gym. Yeah, Rom had 1,000 jobs, and I've worked at, how many gyms did I work at? 3 different gyms. I was working at a hotel gym. I never forget the assistant manager said, this is a community. And I was like, wow. And I always thought about that. I remember a bookstore owner, he said the same thing. He had a community around his bookstore. He had certain people, he said all he needed was 100 people to buy something a month. And, but there was a community. And that's the key for your business, either creating a community or becoming a part of a community. Becoming part of a community. I make a significant amount of money because on my private sites, I'm either created or creating a community. And in fact, that's something I'm always thinking about. I think I make more money with my subscription sites than I do just, with AdSense on YouTube. But it's a community. Focus on that, either creating one or being a part of one or tapping into it. Because every community, especially many subcultures, they still got services. They still got certain clothes they want to wear. Check. Certain foods they want to eat. Check. Especially like the vegan community. Oh, a person can become a millionaire just tapping into that. I've talked before about natural hair, particularly in the African American community. There is a whole community of people. There are people making good livings, good business, just for products for people, for particularly African Americans who wear natural hair, who wear their hair natural, don't put any chemicals. And it's not just for the hair, but like shea butter, shirts, stuff like that, different activities and everything. So it's very important. It's very important. So that's a key for your business. Always keep that in mind. Think community. When you start a business, think community. Now, I've said it before when I've talked about this before. It's hard. It's a little bit harder to create one if you're like providing a service. It is harder. And if anybody has suggested, like if you're a plumber or something like that where you're dealing with individuals, it is a little bit harder, but I don't think it's impossible. Like, let me just think of something off the top of my head. Just, maybe having like a website or something where they can talk about, you could provide like some like basic plumbing advice, just some basic stuff, not major, of course, because you need major, but like, how to like conserve water or tightening up stuff. I don't know. If anybody has an idea about creating a community off the services, please share that. Okay. As I always say, I don't know everything. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. So anyway, that's all I have for today. You know the deal. Let's go make that money.